Chapter 18, Personal Visions. So far, we have explored the power of vision in the context of business, but it also plays a very important role in our personal lives. The following are some examples of the power of vision taken from some family experiences. Philip. The power of vision was illustrated earlier in the chapter titled King of Maternity, where I described the contribution that my son Philip and my nephew Howard made to Shermax by developing the time maternity concept. Their vision for a new maternity retail concept ultimately contributed enormously to the growth of the company. I resisted it because it was not my vision and I didn't get it. It was only after they built and merchandised the stores and they became very successful that I was able to see and get the concept. And then it became my vision too. I could never have created that concept. I simply didn't have the vision for it, and Shermax would have been the poorer without it. Rochelle. From the time Rochelle was very young, she wanted to have a career in which she could contribute to and make a difference in people's lives. However, she had no idea of what that could be. Rochelle attended St. George's High School in Montreal, which is very well known for its theater program. She became involved in that theater program, and in her final year she played Helena in A Midsummer Night's Dream. She was outstanding in the role, and from that experience, she developed a vision for a life in theater. She enrolled in the theater arts program at York University in Toronto and earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree specializing in directing. Life in the theater was hard and created an upside-down lifestyle for her. Sleeping by day, working by night, moving from one gig to another, never sure of what was coming next. Although she had some success in the theater, she was never really happy with that lifestyle, and even more important, she did not see how a career in theater would fulfill her vision of contributing to and making a meaningful difference in people's lives. Then she met Paul Gold, who was to become her husband. Paul had been practicing yoga for some time and introduced her to the philosophy. She went to Bikram Yoga School in California for 3 months of intensive training. Although it was the most difficult and challenging 3 months of her life, she took to it like the proverbial duck to water. Yoga became her passion, and she developed a new vision for herself as a yoga teacher. She saw that as a yoga teacher, she could fulfill her childhood dream to contribute to and make a difference in people's lives. Rochelle left the theater and started to teach Bikram yoga. In the meantime, Paul was doing a much more demanding form of yoga called Ashtanga yoga. Eventually, Rochelle also moved on to practice that discipline, and together they developed the vision of becoming Ashtanga yoga teachers and opening a school of their own. They went to India for 3 months to study with the living master of Ashtanga Yoga, K. Patabi Joyce, then came back to Toronto and opened their yoga school called Ashtanga Yogashala. Since then, they have returned to India annually to further their training with Patabi Joyce. So far, they have been to India several times and are among a small group of about 100 people worldwide who are authorized to teach Ashtanga Yoga. Again, I have related this story in the context of the formula relating to vision. I can do anything I have a vision for, the courage to declare, and the willingness to stay responsible for. Rochelle had a vision to make a difference in people's lives. Yoga became her new vision. She had the courage to declare that vision to the world and stay responsible for the outcome. She did whatever it took to overcome all obstacles and to turn that vision into reality. Rochelle has fulfilled her dream. Esther. When my elder daughter Esther was in her early teens, her vision was to be a nurse. At that time, there were few female doctors, so becoming a doctor was not an option that had occurred to her. When Esther was about 14, we were on a family vacation and stopped off in Chicago to visit our friends Robert and Mary Krugman. Coincidentally, their niece, who was 18 years old, was visiting them at the same time. She told Esther that she was going to study medicine and become a doctor. Esther's eyes lit up. In a flash, she had a new option. She had never considered the possibility of becoming a physician, and that young woman opened up a new world for her. Her vision for who she could be changed from being a nurse to being a doctor, and she never wavered from that golden dream. She finished high school, pursued undergraduate studies in science at McGill, and was accepted in medicine at McMaster University a year before she completed her Bachelor of Science. Esther graduated from McMaster as a family physician. For the next 15 years, she had a very successful practice with 2 other female physicians. She had the vision, and she made it happen. In the mid-90s, Esther began to feel dissatisfied with the way she was practicing medicine. She felt that given our healthcare system, she was unable to give enough time to her patients, and as a physician schooled only in Western medicine, she felt limited in what she was able to offer to her patients. She was introduced to Deepak Chopra's philosophy and teachings and became intrigued with his approach to health and healing, which is very much based on practicing preventative medicine. Esther subsequently developed a close professional relationship with Dr. Chopra and became licensed to give a number of his courses, including primordial sound meditation. From her association with Dr. Chopra, she developed a new vision of herself as a physician. She saw the possibility of adding an entirely new dimension to her medical practice, combining traditional Western medicine with alternative medicine. As this new vision was crystallizing, Esther learned of a new 2-year program in alternative medicine offered at the University of Arizona in Tucson. That program was developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, who is world famous for his teachings in alternative medicine. The program is offered to qualified medical practitioners through a combination of residency and extension courses. Esther enrolled in the program in the 2nd year it was offered, and when she graduated in 2003, she was class valedictorian at her graduation ceremonies. She now shares Dr. Weil's approach and practices integrated medicine, a combination of traditional Western medicine and alternative medicine. Esther left her practice with her 2 associates in family medicine in 2003 and in real terms became an entrepreneur, investing in, building, and establishing a clinic, the Family Practice Center of Integrative Health and Healing in Burlington, Ontario. The clinic offers patients a variety of alternative health and healing disciplines, including homeopathy, naturopathy, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, chiropractic, and massage therapy. This is the first such practice in Canada and was born out of Esther's need to be able to offer her patients much more than she had previously been able to provide. She shares Dr. Weil's lofty vision to change the face of healthcare and healing on the planet. I am truly in awe of Esther for having the courage and making the commitments she has had throughout her life. It took a lot of courage to give up an established 15-year-old practice to head into uncharted waters and to invest a significant amount of her life savings in a new entrepreneurial venture. She put everything at risk to realize her dream. It also required a huge commitment to go back to school as a mature student. She made regular visits to the medical school's campus more than 2,000 miles away, while at the same time maintaining her medical practice, continuing to give her meditation courses, and being a wife, mother, and homemaker. I know that Esther could not have accomplished all of this without the commitment and support of her husband, Keith. In addition to the moral support he gave her as a fellow physician, he put her needs ahead of his own and was there for her during those years. Esther's clinic has been very successful to date. She has received recognition from her peers as well as from her patients who truly appreciate what she now offers them. She has also received academic recognition through her appointment as an associate professor in family medicine at McMaster University, as well as clinical assistant professor in the Department of Medicine at the University of Arizona. I have told this story in the context of the formula relating to vision. I can do anything I have a vision for, the courage to declare, and the willingness to stay responsible for. Esther had a vision, she had the courage to declare that belief to the world, and she took responsibility to do whatever it took, overcoming all obstacles to turn her dream into reality. We feel truly blessed.